List in Python. In other programming languages like C, C++, Java, we use a data structure. It's called the array data structure to store a set of values, a set of items of the same data type. But in Python, we use a built-in data type called list that stores set of items. It can store values of different types, integer, float, string, etc. For example, if I store the set of numbers, then we simply write the name of list numbers equal to the square bracket, and inside the square brackets we write the numbers which I want to store: 34, 78, 65, 56, 79.56. The floating value, we can also store the different types of values: integer, float, and etc. Suppose we create a list called student equal to, and inside the square brackets, student name, comma, student marks, and comma, student city. And in list in Python, we can also access any element of the list using indexing. The string and the list is also similar in Python, because in string we can also access any character of the string using indexing, and in list I can also access any elements of the list using indexing. But the difference between the string and the indexing is we cannot modify, we cannot manipulate any character of the string. But in list we can manipulate any of the element of the list. Suppose student of 0 equal to Ria. Then in the student list, the student 0th index, the Priya is the string value which is modified with Ria, this string value. It is allowed in Python for the list. And we can also print the length of any list using this function, length of student, length of listener. Suppose if I want to print the marks of all students in my class, then we can create the individual variable for creating the all marks of students. Marks 1 equal to 34, marks 2 equal to 56, marks 3 equal to 67, just like this. And if in my class the student number is 1000, then I create the 1000 variables in a program. It is a very hectic situation in program. So in this situation, we use the built-in data type list. Suppose the list name is marks, and inside the square brackets, we can simply store the marks of all students in my class, and just like this. And we can also store the floating value. So if I print this list, print marks, this, and if I print the type of this list, then it will give class list. And if I print the length of this list, it will give 5. And if I want to access any elements of this list, then I simply write marks of 1, and this is the 1th index number. If I want to print 2th index, then it will print 78, just like this. And if I want to modify any elements in the list, then we simply write marks of 3 is equal to 67. Then if I print the list marks, then it will give 54, 56, 78, 67, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 67. List slicing. List slicing is similar to string slicing. If I want to pick any specific part of the list, then we use the slicing method. The syntax of the list slicing is list name, and inside the square brackets we write the starting index from where we start. We want to start our slicing, and then column, and then ending index, uh, to which index we want to stop our slicing. The ending index is not included, just like string slicing. And for example, if numbers is the list name, equal to, inside the square brackets we store a set of numbers. And if I want to use the slicing method, then the list name is numbers, and inside the square brackets we write the starting index from where we want to start our slicing, and then column, and then 3, from to which index we want to stop our slicing, is the 1 column 3 is 89 and 45, because the 0th index is 67, the 1st index is 89, and the 2nd index is 45. Then first index 89, second index 45, and the 3rd index, which is not included in the slicing, so it will be the 89 and 45. And if I want to slice numbers and the square brackets, we want to skip, if I want to skip the starting index, then we simply write inside the square brackets colon, and then the ending index. So is same as the 0 to 4, 0th index to 4th index. Means if I want to skip the starting index, then it will be automatically start with the first index, 0th index. So it will give 67, 0, 1, 89, 1th index 89, the 2nd index 45, 3rd index 70, and the 4th index is not allowed. So 67, 89, 45, 70. Numbers, if I want to skip the ending index, then suppose I create a list called num, and which is stored several numbers 34, 56, 78, 56.78 floating numbers, and then If I print this list, then it will give the output. And if I want to use slicing on this list, then simply write print, then inside the parenthesis list name, and inside the square brackets I write the starting index from where we want to start our slicing, 1, and 4, the ending index to which we want to stop our slicing. 1 to 4. 4 is not allowed because the ending index is not allowed in slicing. So it will give 0th index 34, 1, first index 56, 56, 78, 56.78. This is the answer. Because first index is 56, second index is 78, third index is 57.78, and fourth index is not allowed. So it will give the three numbers 56, 78, 56.78. So this is the slicing. If I want to skip the starting index, then simply it will start from 0th index. So the answer will be 34 0th index, 56 first index, 78 second index, 56.78 third index, and the fourth index is not allowed because the ending index is not allowed. So it will give 34, 56, 78, 57, 56.78. And if I want to skip the ending index, then it will give, then it will automatically stop with the length of the list. So the answer will be 56, 78, 56.78, and 67, because the first index is 56 and then 78, then 56.78 and 67, because the slicing is automatically stopped with the length of the list. Now we are going to the negative indexing. If we want to use slicing using negative index, then we use negative indexing for pick the specific part of the list. The negative index start from the last index of the list. So the negative index is starting from the -1, -2, -3, just like this. And the 67, the last element of the list, is the negative index -1, set 56.78 -2 index, 78 is -3 index, 56 is -4 index, 34 is -5 index. And if I print, we want to slice -3 to -1, sorry, the list name. And if I want to print this, then it will give 78, 56.78, because the minus 3 index is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, 78, and minus 2 is 56.78, and minus 1th index, the ending index is not allowed, so the ending index is not printed. Minus 3 index and minus 2 index is printed. So this is the negative index. Now we will start with list methods. In Python, we use different types of methods like print method, like print method. Print method, we use print method when we want to print some sentence or some word or something, some expression in the screen. Then we use print method to print this statement. And the length function, we use the length function when we want to print uh, something's length, like list length, like uh, string length. We use these methods for every situation in the program. But this method, the list methods, are the methods which is only used for the list. We cannot use for all situations in for all met we cannot use this method for all situations. So this is called the list methods because these methods are only used for the list. Suppose this is my list nums equal to 879. This is the small list. Three numbers is stored in this list. The first method is append method. The syntax of the append method is the list name dot append, and inside the parenthesis I write any number which I want to append. The append method basically adds this element which I write inside the parenthesis, adds this element at the end of the list. Suppose this is my list. The 5, this element is adds at the end of this list. So the result will be 8, 7, 9, and 5. And this next, the second method is short method. Syntax of the short method is list name dot short and parenthesis. A function is always a parenthesis because it is a function. Short method is shorts the list in ascending order. Ascending means smaller element to larger element. So the list is 879. It will give 789. 7 is the small, 8 is the smaller, and 9 is the greatest. The third method is short method, but this short method is used to convert the list into descending order, larger element to smaller element. Simply we write the list name dot short, and inside the parenthesis write the reverse equal to true. The T in the true is always uh, capital in Python, and false, the Boolean value true and false. First letter T and F is capital in Python. Fourth function is nums dot reverse, means list name dot reverse. The reverse method is actually used for reverses the list. The list is will be 879. The actual list is 879. It will give 978. Simply reverses the list. Fifth method is insert method. List name dot insert, and then inside the parenthesis I write an index and then element. The insert method is basically used to uh, insert an element in a particular index. Suppose, uh, suppose I have a list called marks, and inside the marks there are 34, 67, 89, 56, 7, just like this. And if I want to this marks of marks of 1 is equal to 56, 57. Marks of 1 equal to 57. It is completely allowed in Python for the list, but in string is not allowed. So it will give answer 34, 57, 89, 56, 67. So this will give the answer. But if I want to, if I don't want to vanish this number, then we use insert method. The insert method don't vanish the previous element. It only insert the new element at the index, but the previous element is as usual. So the insert element, if I use the insert element, then print marks dot insert 157. So it will give this answer 34, 57, 67, 89, 56, 67. So the insert method, the length of the original list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The length of the original list is 5. After using the insert method, the list will be 6, because the insert method doesn't remove the previous element at the index. It will simply insert the new element at the specific index, which I write inside the parenthesis. So this is the difference between these two methods. So number 6 method is remove method. Suppose, once again, suppose this is my list, and the remove method, the syntax of the remove method is list name dot remove, and inside the parenthesis which I want to remove the element, the 7th element we want to remove. Removes the first occurrence of element means the 7 is the first index and the third index. The first occurrence is first index, so the 7th element is removed from the first index. So this is the first occurrence. Remove method is basically used for remove the element which I write inside the parenthesis the first occurrence. The seven method is, so the result will be the remove method 8, 9, 7. 7, number 7, pop method. The syntax of the pop method is placename dot pop and inside the parenthesis index. This method is used to remove the element remove the element which is positioned in the index which are specified inside the parenthesis. So if I write this index, the second index, then 0, 1, 2, then the answer will be 8, 7, and 7. One sentence, one thing that you need to remember in the list in Python, the Python is mm, accept the duplicate values in the list. Python is allowed to duplicate values in the list because the same element 7 and 7 is completely accepted in the list. Suppose this is my list nums 8, 9, 7 and if I want to append the element at the end of this list, then I simply write nums dot append last 5 and print this list. Then it will give 8975. The element which I want to insert at the end, we use the append method. Then if I want to sort this list, then we use the sort method. Nums dot sort, then simply print the list nums and it will be sorted 7, 8, 9 in ascending order, smaller to bigger. If I want to sort in descending order, then I simply write list dot nums dot sort and inside the parenthesis papers equal to true. And print the list, then it will give 9, 8, 7. If I want to reverse this list, then I simply write nums dot reverse then it will be reversed. 897 is the original list, 798 is the reverse list nums. And then if I want to insert the element in the specific index, then write nums dot insert index is 1, 7. If I want to add 7 element in the first index, then I write this and if I print this list, then it will give 8797. The element 7 is added in the first index. So this is the insert method, and the remove method is remove the first occurrence of the element which I specific inside the parenthesis. So nums dot remove. If I want to remove, suppose the list is this. Suppose I want to remove 7 and print list nums. Then it will remove the first occurrence, first index 7. Then the pop method. If I want to pop a specific index element, then I use the pop method. Second index, print nums. It will give 87.